20 Acres Homestead. So today we are going to do some stuff with some leftovers from Thanksgiving, and we're going to be making some turkey broth and canning some leftover turkey. We've got way too much turkey left over, so we're going to get that in some jars. So the leftover, I took all the turkey off the bones and put all of the juice and leftover bones and stuff in this bowl here. Right here. It's a lot. I kind of spilled a little bit. I'm going to dump everything in this pot, in this crock pot. I'm going to cut up another onion and add some water to it, and we're going to make some turkey broth. If it'll come out of the bowl. Alright, here we go. And this has all of the turkey juice and drippings and all of the stuff, that the spices and things that I used in the turkey are in here. Alright, as you can see, it's quite a bit of stuff. I need to add some water and another onion, and we'll put this on low and let it simmer for a while, and then we'll put it in some jars and can it up for next year. So we have already been eating leftover turkey for like 2 days, and we still have a lot left. So I'm gonna go ahead and code pack this into jars because it's been in the fridge.
Some leftover turkey.
Alright, we're just going to cold pack this into the jars because I really don't want to have to heat it more than it needs to be, because it's already been cooked and it's going to go through the canner, and I'm not going to add anything to these jars except for water because this turkey was really flavorful. I may have burnt the skin a smidge, but the inside was really juicy and really good. So we're just gonna go ahead and store this in jars. Cooked turkey only lasts a few days in the fridge before you're supposed to throw it out. So this way we'll have lots of time to eat all of this leftover turkey. And I got out 7 jars, but I don't know how many of them I'll use, but I just know that the canner can hold 7 jars, 7 pints, so. And I'm gonna leave my husband just a little because I told him I'd leave him another small thing of turkey so he can eat it before he goes to work tonight. He would eat turkey all week long if it would last in the fridge, but it won't, so. Alright, I've changed the giant container of turkey into a small bowl that can go back in the fridge. And then these need to get some water in them. And then they'll be going into the canner. And this is just warm water from the sink. I'm gonna have to debubble these because there's lots of air pockets. And these are still cold, even though I put warm water in there because the turkey was in the fridge. The canner is not on. There's just some warm water in there from that I put in. This one might have to lose some liquid. This is gonna be tasty. Like I just cooked it, hopefully. At least that's how it usually will taste. Like I just cooked it. And it's not super overcooked. Now since these are greasy, I do have a little bit of vinegar on my paper towel here. That way our lids will make a nice seal. If it wasn't greasy, I wouldn't use vinegar. I just use water to wipe them off to make sure they're not sticky or don't have a particle or two in the way. Apparently, I was incorrect on how many pints this will hold. I think it'll hold 8 or 9, depending on if they're wide mouth or. This one it would only have 7. Maybe I'm thinking quarts, but if they're regular mouth jars, they should hold 9 and 8 wide mouth jars, but I've got a mix, so I think this would have held 8, but I didn't have enough turkey because my husband wanted some. But we're gonna get the lid on this thing. Alright, so this broth has been going for probably about 12 hours. Sometimes I will let it go for a few days, but this is already full of flavor before I boiled it down even more. We are going to be straining out all of the vegetables and bones. All of the broth is going to go in this.
All the broth? All the balls?
Yes, all of the broth.
All the
And it's not as dark as my turkey broth usually is. Here is our rich, beautiful turkey broth. I wish that the color on my camera was better because this looks kind of a lot better in person than it does on the camera. And that is either 5 or 6 quart pot. I can't remember how many. This is now flavorless leftovers that have been strained out of this really good tasty broth. And I am going to give the flavorless leftovers to the dog. And I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and hope not to spill it. We need this to cool down so that we can scoop all the fat off before we can can it. Alright, here is our 7 pint jars full of turkey. They look delicious. Every one of them sealed. And now, stop it. We have 7 shelf-stable cans of meat, which will equal 7 meals. And it is delicious. It tastes like it just was cooked. So the fat has coagulated at the top, so I can just kind of scrape it off. This will keep a lot of fat out of my jars. They won't be nearly as greasy. I won't be able to get it all, but then after we get this out, we will bring this back up to a boil before we put it into the jars. The jars are in the canner heating up. There we go. While that broth heats up, Dean and I are gonna get some beans going. We've got lots of leftover ham as well, so we're gonna make some ham and bean soup out of it. Get that processed. All right, Dean, put them in the pan.
I'm sure the peroxide smells bad, but I think it's clean my lashes, so I think I'm good.
That's working.
Slay.
Dean, put the beans in.
Ooh, it's new.
I just like to go through them real quick. I don't like putting in the ones that are broken or find any little tiny gravel or particles that don't need to be in there. We get those out as well.
Ooh, it's smooth.
Beans are on. We are gonna go ahead and bring those up to boil as well. It is gonna be, ooh, there must be something on that burner. It will be left in that pan to soak for about an hour. After it comes to a boil, we're gonna boil it for 20 minutes. And then turn the stove off, and the beans will sit there and expand with the water. That way we know how many beans can fit in the cans, in the jars.
Do you mean beans, not deans?
Yeah, I mean beans, not deans. We're not putting deans in the jars.
Not deans.
Not deans. These are gonna sit here for 20 minutes, which is about what it takes. Or, I mean, they're gonna sit there for an hour. This, Dean, stop, please. This is ready to be put in the jars.
What is that?
That is turkey broth. And we're putting hot turkey broth in these hot jars.
Hot take them off in those hot boys.
Yep.
Look at this onesie.
Dean, move that.
Move it.
Yeah,
Wow.
move it. Dean, move your stinking Coke out of the way.
It's not stanky.
Well, move it.
Production finding the answer to why the newest of new Beatles clock was obvious. It didn't have an N64 timing gauge. When you're a kid, sometimes you just don't know.
4 quarts of turkey stock going into the canner. And we are going to process this for 25 minutes.
The real thing was cards wouldn't fit the track. The bean needs the Beatles to be an oddball. The Beatles to gain the matched level of cartoons. The two meld together into a perfect atmosphere and theme to make a fundraising room that wouldn't work otherwise. There's also a surprising amount of content to it. From new changeless to new tracks, there's nothing to be coming back for a while.
Let's get these quarts of turkey stock out of the canner. Yum. Now, these have been sitting here a while, so I'm going to go ahead and drain them and rinse them, and then we'll get them in some jars with some ham and get them going. Alright, I'm not sure how many jars I'm going to need for this. I'm just going to start with a few. These are chunks of ham that have been left over from Thanksgiving. Just gonna put a couple of chunks in each jar. Alright. So all the leftover ham is now in the jars. Got some beans in there. And since these are already swollen to the size that they should be, I'm gonna pretty much fill it up. And I guess make a mess while I'm at it. So 5 quarts of ham and bean soup. And these beans were drained and rinsed.
Hey, Mama.
What?
Go check this out. Huh?
Give me a minute.
Okay.
There are 5 quarts of ham and bean soup in the canner. It was a cold canner because the ham was cold and the beans were like room temperature. I just used some warm water to fill up the rest of the jar up to about an inch head space. So now we just need to get this up to temperature, and that will be almost the rest of our Thanksgiving leftovers used up. I do have some macaroni and cheese, but I don't think I want to can that, so we will have lots of meals out of this one Thanksgiving. Our ham and bean soup is finished. It was processing for an hour and 30 minutes. All of this from leftover Thanksgiving. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pints of turkey, 5 quarts of ham and bean soup, and 4 quarts of turkey stock. And this is after we had several meals of leftovers.
I'm gonna have a bubbly hot bath. Do you know that?
Okay, then go have a bubbly hot bath.
The bubbly hot bath.
And this whole thing fed my entire extended family a nice Thanksgiving meal plus a bunch of leftover meals for a couple of days for us. And now we have all of these meals prepped and ready to go whenever we are feeling like we need some food and don't feel like cooking. So remember to add your videos with hashtag meals in jars if you'd like to join the collaboration of the Meals in Jars on YouTube. And thanks for watching.